Hi everyone. This video is the second part of the three-part series on understanding mandibular movements. So if you haven't checked out the first part, I would highly suggest that you do. But if you're on a time crunch, no problem. We'll briefly discuss what we covered in part one so that all of us can be on the same page. So let's get started. A few key things before we move ahead. Now, because we spoke about movement, we discussed the different planes and axes of movement. So, mandibular movements are extremely complex movements and they rarely occur along a single plane or about a single axis. Now, as the mandible makes all these different movements, which are brought about by the TMJ and the associated muscles, let's not forget that we have teeth. So, the surfaces of the teeth also kind of guide the mandible as it makes all these different movements. So, the TMJ and the associated muscles constitute the posterior determinants of mandibular movement, and the teeth constitute the anterior determinant of mandibular movement. We then moved on to the concept of border movements, which are like the maximum movement that the mandible is capable of in each of these three planes, that is the sagittal, frontal, and the transverse plane. And Dr. Posselt was the first to actually trace these border movements along these different planes and put together a three-dimensional limiting structure, which he called the Posselt's envelope of motion. And he said that all functional movements of the mandible, be it laughing or speaking or chewing, occur within this envelope. In this video, we'll discuss two super important mandibular positions, the centric relation and maximal intercuspal position. Let's talk about centric relation first. So, centric relation is a very talked about subject in prosthodontics, and its definition has changed quite a fair amount over the years. Um, but we'll go with the most recent definition by the ninth edition of the Glossary of Prosthodontic Terms. Now, I know that for most of you starting out, the definition of centric relation can be very confusing, but let's try to understand the concept over here. All right. Now, imagine that you're making a set of complete dentures for a patient or extensively restoring the dentition with a lot of crowns and bridges in a situation where the patient does not have a lot of teeth to begin with. So you can't just restore the dentition at any random position, right? Because that would be traumatic to the masticatory system. You would need some kind of a starting reference position from where you would start your treatment planning and optimally restore the dentition, right? And that position must also be repeatable and reproducible, meaning that you can record it accurately on multiple occasions, right? And that position should also be kind to the masticatory system. So it should be anatomically and physiologically and biomechanically compatible or favorable for the masticatory system, right? And that position is the centric relation position. Okay, it is not a tooth determined position, meaning that for a patient it would be the same with or without teeth. So it is a relationship of the mandible to the maxilla, and it's an entirely joint determined position. So in the centric relation position, the condyles are oriented in an anterior superior direction. So here we have the mandibular fossa and the posterior slope of the articular eminence. Here we have the condyle. If you look at the direction of the condyle, they're seated in the most anterior and superior position against the posterior slope of the articular eminence. And this particular position is favorable for the masticatory system. All right. Now, most of us do not close into this position, so we have to, the patients won't close naturally into this position, so we have to actively guide the patient's mandible into the centric relation position. Now, to give you a rough idea, I want you to do a little something. I want you to place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth and close your mouth. You will notice that your teeth occlude in a different manner than they would if you were to just tap your teeth together. You may find that very few teeth occlude in this position, and you know now the way your teeth occlude in this position, or the way your teeth come together when you close this way, is called centric occlusion or occlusion in centric relation. All right. do not get confused. The way your teeth come together when you guide the mandible into centric relation is called centric occlusion. Now, when we guide the mandible into centric relation position, the mandible, you can freely hinge the patient's mandible. It's difficult to imagine this. I can completely understand, so I'll link a video in the description box. Feel free to check that out. So when you guide the patient's mandible into centric relation, the mandible can make a hinging movement. So what is a hinging movement? We saw that this is the transverse axis, and hinging movement is when a body rotates about a single plane, along a single plane. So in the centric relation position, the mandible can make a hinging movement or a pure rotation movement about this transverse hinge axis. So we saw that the centric relation position is entirely a joint determined position. So it would be the same for a patient regardless of whether the patient has or does not have teeth. Now let's talk about the maximal intercuspal position, which is the opposite. Now we know that teeth erupt in our mouth and occlusal and interproximal contacts are established over time. We also know that the periodontal ligament has these mechanoreceptors, right? So these receptors, as occlusal contacts are established, these receptors in the PDL kind of send like a feedback to the muscles and continuously program them to close the mouth in a way that when we close our mouth, the opposing teeth occlude or they come together to kind of fit together like the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. All right, so that is why it is called the maximal intercuspal position. It is a position where teeth intercuspate with each other the best. So it's like a conditioned position that happens as a result of development of tooth contacts over time. So it is entirely a tooth determined position. And most of us habitually close into the maximal intercuspal position every time we tap our teeth together. You can try it out on yourself. So to be short, it is a position where the teeth best fit together irrespective of the condylar position. Again, I want you to do a little something. I want you to do the same exercise that we did previously. I want you to touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth and close your mouth and notice where you have occlusal contacts. You'll feel that very few teeth occlude in this position, and this position is centric occlusion or the occlusion in centric relation. And if you just let go of your jaw, you'll find that your mandible kind of slides forward and goes back to this position where you feel that your teeth best fit each other, right? And this position now is the maximal intercuspal position. So I hope there's no confusion now between centric occlusion and maximal intercuspal position. Now, most of us do not close into centric relation or centric occlusion and almost always have this discrepancy or slide between the centric occlusion and the maximal intercuspal position. So once you're into this maximal intercuspal position, any movement that you make away from it, be it a protrusive or side-to-side movement, are called excursive movements. All right, that's it for today. I hope you were able to understand all these different concepts, and I hope I didn't make it sound too confusing for you. But let me just revise to really hammer it home. So, centric relation is a joint position where the condyles are in the most anterior superior position against the posterior slopes of the articular eminence. All right, and the way the teeth come together or occlude when the joint is in this position is called centric occlusion. All right, and maximal intercuspation is entirely a tooth determined position. It is the way your teeth best fit together and the way your teeth come together when you just tap your teeth together. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. And thank you so much again. Bye.